Welcome back to Module 2.7. In this lecture video, I'm going to show you how to borrow when subtracting mixed numbers. So the textbook offered this procedure: borrow 1 from the first whole number, add this 1 to the first fraction, and step number 3, subtract. So this kind of vague what they're trying to say. So what they're trying to say here is borrow a whole number from the first whole number, and the reason why we borrow from the first whole number is because it's the first numerator that's not enough to subtract. So if you look at this example right here real quick, 45 and 5 over 11 is not enough to subtract this 8. Okay, they already got LCD 11 already, so the first numerator is not enough to subtract. So the numerator is the one that is trying to borrow from the whole number. So normally, this is normally the way how I show student is by saying, if you got to borrow because the numerator is not enough to subtract, the first thing you do is subtract 1. Subtract 1 from the whole number. Alright, and then the next thing you do, this is like a shortcut basically, and then what you do is you take the denominator plus the old numerator to equal to the new numerator that you are going to use to subtract. And then we subtract the whole number part and the fraction part. All right, so I accidentally created a space here. I can't even put it. There you go. So I'm gonna show you right here real quick. Okay, so basically the explanation of the shortcut is 42 and 5 over 11 means 42 plus 5 over 11. So I'm going to split up my 42 into a 41 plus 1 and still add on to my fraction part. So this is the one that the textbook is saying here. All right, so I'm going to turn this whole number I just borrowed, or I just split all of the 42, into a in terms of a fraction. Since the LCD is 11, I'm going to say this 1 is going to be 11 over 11 plus the 5 over 11 plus the 41 that's up front. So now with this 11 plus the 5 on the top, which is 16 over 11, right? Plus the 41 up front. That's how we get 41 and 16 over 11. So rather than do this step every single time, I always show students the shortcut. It's basically once you see this one time, you can just simply take away a whole number from the 42, which is 41, and then take the old denominator, or the LCD, plus the numerator. 11 plus 5 will offer you the new numerator, which is 16. Still over the LCD 11. Now you got enough to subtract the 1 and a over 11. Which, if I just subtract the fraction part, 16 minus 8 give me a over 11 again as a fraction part of the answer. 41 minus 1 will be 40. So my final answer, 40 and a over 11. Okay, so hopefully with this 3 things written down, maybe this makes sense now. Because this whole number, 7 from the last video, is really viewed as 7 and 0 over 6. Since a 0 is not enough to subtract the 5, that's why I take away a whole number from the 7, so that gives me a 6 for whole number. Then I take my LCD, add on to my old numerator to come up with this new numerator 6 for me to use to subtract. All right, let's try other ones. Okay, 7 and 1 over 9 minus 3 and 13 over 9. So the 7 is enough to subtract the whole number 3. It's just the fraction part is not quite enough. So take away 1 from the whole number. That will be 6. Oh, hold on a minute. Can I even do that yet? Because I got to find the LCD first. Okay, that's always the first thing we do when we add and subtract fraction. The LCD between 9 and 18 is 18. All right. The old 9 go into the new LCD, increase 2 times. Numerator times by 2 is 2. The 18, the second denominator 18 go into the new LCD is only 1 time. So 13 times 1 is still 13. All right, so now I can borrow. My 2 is not enough to subtract that 13 still. So take away a whole number from the 7, that give me a 6. LCD is still 18. Take the LCD times my old numerator. Take my old, excuse me, not times it. Take my old denominator or my LCD, add on to my old numerator. That give me my new numerator to subtract, which is 20. So now the 20 is enough to subtract that 13. So 20 over 18, subtract 13 over 18. My fraction part of the answer is 7 over 18. Subtracting the whole number, 6 minus 3 is 3. So my answer, 3 and 7 over 18. All right, so now this is the second time we're looking at this. So this is what I need you begin to do. When you see a whole number that is going to subtract another mixed number, I need you right away to say this 45 is really 44, right? Take away 1 from the whole number, and the LCD is always going to be 6. Well, not always going to be 6. The LCD for this problem is 6. So the numerator need to be exactly the same thing, which is 44 and 6 over 6. Because the 6 over 6 is equivalent to be 1. That 1 plus a 44 still give you the 45. So this is what we're going to use to subtract 14 and 5 over 6, which now I got enough to subtract. So 6 minus 5, my fraction part answer is 1 out of 6. 44 minus 14 is 30. So my answer, 30 and 1 over 6. All right. Let's try another one. LCD between 9 and 18 is 18 again, which is not the same one as the previous one. Nope. So this is 18. All right. Denominator, first denominator 9 go into the LCD 2 times. So my numerator times by 2, that's 2. The second denominator go into the LCD only 1 time, so my numerator all times by 1, which is 7. So now I see my numerator 2 is not enough to subtract the 7, so my 2 gonna borrow. So we take away 1 from the A, that give me 7. LCD still 18. Now take my LCD and add on to my old numerator. That will give me a new numerator 20 that I will use to subtract the other numerator. So now 20 minus 7 is 13 over 18. That's a fraction part. 7 minus 6 is 1. So my answer, 1 and 13 over 18. All right, one last one. 35 and 7 over 9. Be very careful. Minus 32 and 1 over 7. All right, LCD between 9 and 7 is 63. So let's turn them into 63. So the first denominator, for the first denominator to become the LCD, it got to multiply by 7 times. So my numerator times by 7, which is 49, minus. For the second denominator to become the LCD, it got to times by 9. Numerator times by 9, which is 9. So hold on now. Do I need to borrow in this problem? No, because my first numerator is enough to subtract the second numerator, so I do not need to borrow. So Once I subtract the fraction part, that give me 40 over 63. 35 minus 32 is 3. Okay. Remember now, 40 can be reduced by 2, by 4, by 5, by 8, which none of those numbers can reduce 63 with. Okay, 63 is only reduced by 7 and 3 and 9. So that's it. That's my answer. All right. So in this lecture video, I show you how to borrow from the whole number in order for the numerator to have enough to subtract. So the way how we borrow, simply subtract 1 from the whole number, and then we take the LCD plus the old numerator to come up with a new numerator I'm going to use to subtract my second numerators. Okay? All right, that will conclude this lecture video. Thank you for watching.